welcome to Skateboard Nation. Today, my guest, wow, super impressive career. 16 world championships in slalom racing. I guess I could probably say one of the best. Definitely, I would say a GOAT in the field, right?
I'll be a GOAT.
Yeah. So impressive. I had so much fun reading up on Lynn Kramer. I'm sorry, I should have introduced you right away. But anyway, you know, you have done and been in skateboarding forever, long time. What a career. So anyway, I really would like to just jump right into this and start talking about how you got involved in skateboarding and how did it all begin?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So, you started skateboarding?
Okay, so I started skateboarding 2 weeks before I went to college.
Okay.
I went to my friend's house and I didn't want to walk or run home. So her and I stole her brother's skateboard. And I rode it home very poorly, I would say. And I just skated for 2 weeks in my garage when all my friends were already in school and I was doing nothing else.
Okay. And you said college. You started right before college.
Right.
Okay.
So I was 16. And when I got to college, I just would borrow any board I would see. I'd sit outside my apartment and people would ride by and I'd go, "Let me ride your skateboard." And I found some people who were willing to take me speed skating and we went and then we just would skate every day.
Wow.
And eventually they made me buy my own board.
Okay. So my next question, okay, you said 16 you started and doing it and in college.
Yes.
Okay. And you, what college are we?
I went to UCSD.
UCSD. Okay. Wow, at 16, that's impressive.
Well, 16 and a half.
16, child genius here too. Okay, straight A student.
Mostly.
Lynn, that's amazing. Okay, well, gosh, okay. Kind of like a Rodney Mullen like type of school education.
You know, that's really a compliment to put me in the same sense with Rodney Mullen.
Yeah, well, Rodney is special, isn't he? We all know that. But Rodney was, I mean, if you look at it, you know, Rodney is the GOAT of skateboarding, street, freestyle, and such. A lot of people didn't know that he was like a super vert guy too, but he never ever wanted his picture taken skating vert. But he was vert too. But anyway, yeah, that is incredible start. Anyway, so being that you were that age, we had a car, so you were starting to cruise around, or were you taking it by bus, or how did you get places?
No car.
No?
I lived on UCSD campus.
Okay.
So we skated all over the UCSD campus.
Okay.
And there's everything. There's transitioned curbs, there's staircases, there's blocks, there's more blocks, there's the Revell Fountain, there's hills, you know, there's just everything to skate. And then my second year, Steve Valerial got this great idea to have the Ready to Shred skateboard club.
Okay.
And we built ramps.
Oh, wow.
We built a vert ramp on campus. It was out in the trees east of campus.
Okay. I vaguely remember.
It's on the north side. Wasn't it on the north side of the campus?
It might have been north. I'd call it east, but it was out in the bushes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that was 9 feet tall, and it just went to vert, and it was the first ramp I ever dropped in on.
Oh,
and
wow.
So I learned how to build a ramp before I learned how to skate a ramp.
Wow. Okay. So you were skating a lot of vert, and then street skating as well. I mean, mostly it was all on campus. Yeah, you were skating everything.
All on campus.
All on campus.
Well, for the first couple of years.
Okay.
And then I moved off campus.
Okay.
And we just street skated, and we street skate in the parking garages.
Who got you started? That was your friend that got you actually started.
I skated with 3 guys from school, Paul, George, and Sean.
Okay.
And we all skated a bunch.
Okay.
And we all worked at the radio station at KSDT. And go to punk rock shows every Friday night, or skateboard if there wasn't a show.
Wow.
And then after we broke up, after a couple of years, I found a new group of friends. And this one guy, George Medlock, was totally into photography, and he had a car.
Okay.
And so actually he didn't have a car. By then I had a car, but he knew where to go.
Okay.
So we'd go to all these ditches. We'd go over to Dead Man's Ditch or Orange Ditch or, wherever. We would just, down
off Orange
Chula
Avenue?
Vista.
Yeah, off Orange Avenue. The beast. Super rough.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. I
Not as
remember
rough as the Tecolote Ditch.
No, Tecolote is even
Tecolote
nastier.
was really bad.
Yeah. That was too. I remember that.
I really only went to Del Mar a couple times.
You mean the skate park?
Yeah.
As far as the skate park. Okay.
Yeah, because we were just skating around the neighborhood. We built a mini ramp in my garage. We built rail slides and launch ramps, and we skated UCSD. I had UCSD to skate for free, and it was right there. So
to class, between classes and everything else, you just took your skateboard and went to and skated it.
Street skate to school or go skate the ramp after school.
Because I remember there was a time too where the campus actually banned skateboards for a bit, and then I think they let them back on campus a few years later.
Well,
but there was
that
a time
happened after it was.
Oh, it was
gone.
after.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was just one section you couldn't skate right during rush hour.
Oh, is that right?
Everywhere else you could skate.
Okay. No, I was just wondering. My niece went there. I remember she's like, skateboarding is banned. I'm like, what? So anyway, that was a little bit later on, though.
A little bit later.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So you've skated like all over the United States now. Like you've kind of traveled to a lot of different places. Okay. I noticed. I saw a picture of you skating at Martha's Vineyard.
Yes.
What was that all about?
Island.
Yeah, it's an island. I know. My mom actually lived.
Actually, George had a second home there, like his family home. They'd all go over there for the summer.
Okay.
Like 11 people living in this house for the summer, and we just built this ramp. It was like 4 feet
P4
high and 8 feet wide.
Okay.
And it had a parking brick on one side, and it was painted this weird off gray. And so we thought it looked like the color of a street, so we painted a dash line down the middle of it and called it the street ramp. Really
back to like getting into the street skating phase of things too. I have a picture here of you back street skating. This was during the
What about the one before it?
One.
Oh, we did that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to talk, like, bring it up to I really wanted like people to know that you're you skate everything. You know what I mean? Like, I know you've had the most awesome career as a slalom racer, but in your early beginnings, we have a picture here of you street skating. Looks like a frontside rock on a curb.
That was on a quarter pipe. That was at a camp that we helped build at San Diego State.
At San Diego State.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember they used to have a big ramp at their at San Diego State too.
They did. They had a ramp, and they had a mini ramp, and then they had a bunch of street obstacles. And we helped build it before the camp started.
Is that right? Okay. So you had your hand in that. Did you ever go back and skate that much, or?
We just skated it before the camp started, and then the camp went for however many weeks, and they tore it all down.
Okay. All right. Wow. It just seems like too bad it just couldn't stay there, like year round.
Yeah, you think.
There's enough room and stuff on that one. Okay, well, there's more street skating to come. You obviously were hanging out with a lot of people in street skating for many years. What did you have photographs like for magazines or anything? I mean, when was the first time you got in the magazine? Do you remember like your first picture and how you felt?
A legit magazine or one that I made?
Both. How about that? Let's talk about yours. The first one you made.
Yeah. Well, when I had started, when I tore a ligament in my knee, and so I needed something to do to take up the time, we started Girls Who Grind, which later became Equal Time, and we'd travel around and we would take pictures of girls, and we went to Santa Cruz and we went to Santa Barbara. We went to Arizona.
This is like spring break time?
Yeah, we'd go during spring break. We'd go during summer, during winter. And, I was only entered for a relatively short period of time. So then I started putting myself in the magazine as well, obviously.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
we'd go to San Francisco and skate, and who doesn't want to see pictures of the Embarcadero,
Right.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so vert skating, you were skating a lot of bowls at the time too, like all over San Diego, a lot of pools you mentioned earlier that you had skated, because you were asking me if I ever skated them. I was like, I don't remember that pool.
Well,
You know.
we skated some pools, we skated some ditches. There was
Okay.
the Brown Bowl down in Chula Vista near the airport. It was a big square
Okay.
bowl. And there was another,
Down in Brownfield.
yeah, in Brownfield.
Yeah, in Brownfield.
And
Okay.
there was another pool down
Wow.
near Chula Vista as well that we skated a bunch of times. I don't remember the name of it.
Was that
You
the
know.
Imperial? I don't
We
know.
skated
You know.
Imperial Ditch.
Okay,
And
yeah.
there'd be
Imperial
gangsters
Ditch.
up on the
Yeah.
bridges rooting for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a fun ditch to skate.
Okay. Now I remember Imperial. That was another big brutal ditch as well. Yeah, and a lot of interesting people that
But
were
it
up
was-
there. Some
once-
throwing bottles at you and stuff, and some were cool. You know.
Nobody ever threw bottles at us.
Oh, really?
And
Uh,
my buddy Tom, he said, you know, there could be a war on, and the skateboarders will be skating a curb, and everyone will leave them alone because they're just skateboarding.
yeah.
And
Okay.
and that's how we felt when we went to places like Imperial.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I did. I was a few years earlier, so that's when I think the bottles. I remember getting bottles thrown at us in there.
Sorry.
No, it made it all more fun, you know. So anyway, what do boys do, right? So anyway, like as far as that goes, like street mini ramp, like did you skate a lot of mini ramp as well, like, you know?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we build any ramps yourself, mini
Yeah, I
ramps and
built a
stuff?
mini ramp in my garage
Okay.
in
All
the
right.
condo complex.
Okay.
Now my mom probably knows, but I don't think she's known until now.
Well, that's good.
We built a mini ramp at our house in OB. It
Okay.
had a hip and an elbow and a 3/4 oververt.
Wow.
And we built another mini ramp in another house. So yeah, I've had a bunch of mini ramps and skated a bunch. We used to skate Mike Ryan's mini ramp.
Okay.
He used
Yeah.
to own Just Skate. in
Right.
Ashton
Just
Beach.
skate. Yep. I remember Mike.
Yeah, he was very supportive.
Ah, okay. And your parents were too, obviously.
No,
Really? Not at all?
no,
Really?
no, not at all.
Unreal.
When are you going to stop? Last week. When are you going to stop?
Wow. Okay. But I'm sure it's more of a joke now than anything. It's got to be.
Well,
Do you ever like show her all your trophies from?
So-
like, Mom, no, I'm actually really good.
jumping forward, in 2004, I put on the Lacosta Open
Okay.
on Off Work Day, which is the backside of Black Hills,
Right.
7th Street. And my dad came and my mom came.
Oh wow.
And my dad comes up and looks at me and he goes, "This is actually a sport." I'm like, "Yeah, Dad." And he goes, "You're actually good at it."
Yeah.
Does that kind of
Thanks,
sound,
Dad.
Yeah.
doesn't that sound like
Well,
Bobby Mullen's dad? Didn't he say
Yeah.
the same thing? The parallels between the two of you are amazing.
Yeah.
I've read some stuff like he wasn't supposed to skate, but he was doing really well. So his dad made concessions.
Yeah.
You know, they made a deal. But by then I was an adult. He couldn't stop me anyway.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
college does for you.
It does change a person a little bit.
Well, it gets
You
you
know.
out from underneath your parents. They don't know what you're doing on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis.
Okay. I can't imagine you were just that much of a rebel.
I wasn't doing it to rebel against them. I was just doing what felt good.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It's
Good.
healthy.
And going to punk rock music and
That's
shows and everything
Totally
else.
healthy. How
Yeah.
are you going to get out all your aggressions?
Yeah.
I studied so hard in school,
Yeah.
and you sit and then you get pent up and you're working hard and then you go skate
Yeah.
or you go get in a mosh pit and you get it out of your system and you're back at it.
Wow. How old were you when you graduated from college?
21,
Okay.
5-year plan.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's just because, you can't always get all your classes. That's
Well,
that's what my daughter just told me.
Engineering is really hard. There's lots of labs.
Yes.
So it took 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, my brother was an engineer too. So anyway, all right. So let's see. What? Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So I have a photo here. P7, and I want you to tell me about this because this is is this part of the your one of your ramps that you built? Like how?
This one.
Yeah.
This is the UCSD mini ramp, the second UCSD mini ramp.
Okay.
We had 2 UCSD mini ramps. Well, we had 2 UCSD, with 4 UCSD ramps.
Okay.
We had 2 out in the trees.
Okay.
The vert ramp and then the mini ramp. And then they wanted to build the Shiley Ice Center. So we had to tear them down and rebuild new ramps behind the baseball field.
How big were these?
This one was about 5 feet, but it was about 24 feet wide.
Okay.
Super
That's good wide. Yeah. That's a good size. I'm just shocked that I never got up there to go skate any of those kind of mini ramps from, back in the day. Cause I was working at 8th Street at that time. And, I was always getting pulled left and right to go to different skate spots, So anyway, and I heard about the ramps up there, but I don't know, for some reason we just never had any connection with anybody up over there. San Diego State ramps, that I went and skated, during that time. Yeah.
Because it was only there for like 6 weeks.
A short period of weeks. Yeah. So anyway, but I had connections, and then they were like, "Oh, you gotta go skate. That was a great ramp." So I was like, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah.
We were only 15 minutes away from where our office was on Miramar Road. It's like 15 minutes down to San Diego State. So down the 15.
There is a good story about the original UCSD ramps.
Okay.
You were asking me about magazines.
Yes.
We had the ramps, and I thought that it was noteworthy. So I called Thrasher Magazine, and they put me online with KT, and I was like 17 or 18 years old, and I'm like, I have an idea.
Yeah.
He's like, what's your idea? And I go, we have ramps in our school. And he's like, you do?
Yeah.
And it was on. And so KT came down with Dave Duncan, who was the first pro I ever met and ever skated with. And I just love him dearly. I see him everywhere. I see him at all these contests and, snowboard contests and skateboard contests.
Dave is amazing.
Really great when I get to see him again. And they came down and they skated with us at our ramps, and they posted that article.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I remember them doing like a school issues back then where they went to different, like a whole bunch of different schools. I don't know if it was Transworld that did it or Thrasher. I thought maybe it was just Thrasher that did it, but yeah, that did the whole thing on they did like a different school every month for a little while.
Did they?
So yeah, they did.
Okay, I must have missed that series. This one, it was part of their San Diego portfolio.
Okay.
Because when I called him, he goes, "That is such a coincidence. We're doing a story on San Diego next month."
Oh wow!
And so it worked out perfectly for the timing. So it was the San Diego. And it was the magazine with Cara Beth on the cover. So
wow.
Kind of an added bonus for me.
Okay, yeah.
I do have it.
Okay.
Want me to get it?
Oh no, it's it's up to you. If you want to share on that, then yeah, I know I can grab it real quick if you'd like.
Sure.
So yeah, we have getting back to the UCSD ramp.
Yeah.
You have the magazine
so
with
this was the Thrasher.
Thrasher, yeah.
Cara Beth on the cover.
Right.
And then this was the story that Geth Noble and I wrote. I want to say he was the artistic one behind the writing because...
John Hogan? You remember John?
I don't remember John. I remember the name.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was the same one that was the team manager for Gullwing.
Yes.
At that time. Yeah.
You're correct.
I just saw that name. I'm like, oh, he was the Gullwing team manager. Like years after I was already gone, but he was best friends with a really good friend of mine, and that's how we always connected.
Dave Andrew.
Oh, am I on there?
Here.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
What's it say?
Mouse is in here.
Wow.
Well,
that is so random right there. I know. Yeah. I've never seen that.
Yeah, they've got Duncan.
So,
is it a picture?
No, it's not a picture.
It's just a story.
It's a story.
It's a story about, it's just an interview.
Yeah, about San Diego, I guess. This is the San Diego.
You talking about it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and Henry Hester.
Ah, Big H.
Big H.
Yeah.
Daryl Delgado, Pineapple. So this was pretty cool. They interviewed some really cool people.
That is amazing. What year is this now? Oh, look, Tony Magnuson as
What is it,
well on the
87?
cover on it. Yep. 89.
89.
89.
Oh, it's that
Okay.
long.
Shoot. I was almost in my prime right then. I didn't even know it. I was thinking about that the other day. You know, like a lot of like I got basically shamed, as you say, out of skateboarding at 21 because I was too old.
Because you were too old.
Yeah, I was too old at 21. And I was just like, yeah, I'm too old. Okay, whatever. I went back to college. And, you know, little did I know, guys, everybody's still skating at 60, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, God dang. Even though my knees are gone now, but, you know, I can't skate like I want to skate. In my head, I'm still 19, but my body just says, oh, no, you're not.
That's something that was really hard to get over.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For you?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
Because what is skateboarding? When you get into skateboarding, like street skating, you try a trick, you try it again, you try it again, you try it again, you try it again. Your knees are bleeding, your elbows are bleeding, you've got shark bites and shins have bumps on them, and then you finally get it.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't go over now. Now it's like, oh, I fell down. I'm just going to go take a bath.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we changed how we skate.
Yeah, no, it's true. We definitely have. Okay, so let's see here. From UCSD, you went out and got a job after you graduated with your engineering degree. Yes?
Well, actually, my first job was at Just Skate.
Oh, was it? You worked for Mike
I
then?
did. I worked for Mike
Okay.
after college.
Unreal. Okay, and then you got a job.
I got an engineering job for the county air pollution control.
Really?
And I worked there for like a year and a half, and it was fine, but it was not what I wanted to do for a living. So I moved to Washington, and I worked for the Boys and Girls Club and learned to snowboard.
Wow. Well, you were quite a proficient snowboarder as well.
Well,
You went
if you
like-
do anything long enough, you're going to be good at it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know, but how long were you up snowboarding?
Well, I was in Washington for a season, but I still snowboard.
Okay, well,
And now I race for my ski club. I was racing USASA and doing.
wow. So you've been involved in that this whole time too. Does that help your slalom? Or vice versa? Does your slalom help?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I would seem like lines and stuff, but
Yeah, drawing lines, it does for sure.
for giant slalom, I could see it especially, but not as much for the tight slalom, you know, that's a whole different movement.
Yeah, snowboarding through ski gates in a slalom course is really an interesting beast.
Wow.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
It's super
Okay.
fun.
Okay, but
So after that, I came back to San Diego and I went to work for Taylor Daikuma on
okay,
the snowboard side.
on the snowboard side.
We were making boards for Vision, Barfoot, and Lamar mostly.
Okay.
And then later for Arbor and for Elevation, which was Lamar's little project after he sold Lamar.
Okay. After what happened?
He sold Lamar to
Oh, okay.
K2,
Bert did. Yeah.
and then a few years later, he came in with Elevation.
Oh, really?
And they had carbon fiber in their base. It was when people first started to do handrails.
Okay.
And they were trying to make the boards not wear out.
Okay.
So we actually put Kevlar.
Kevlar.
Not
Okay.
carbon fiber.
Okay.
We put Kevlar in the bases.
Interesting. Okay. And that was still like a wood core base then at that time. It wasn't foam or anything.
Well, there's wood core inside a fiberglass with
Right.
a plastic base on the bottom.
Okay.
It's a sintered polyethylene.
Okay.
Some people call it P-Tex, but that's
Yeah.
a brand name and it's something else.
Okay.
But this base material had Kevlar in it. So it only had, very little plastic and then Kevlar behind that so that when you went to do all the rail slides and such, you wouldn't.
It held
destroy the
up.
board.
Yeah, it held up pretty good. Okay. And so you were designing boards for that point, or were you like how was that working with you on making boards? Like
Well,
you make boards, there's design, obviously people bring in a template or something and say, I want this type of board. But there's a lot into it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the pros would come in. Like I think my two favorite pros to work with were Don Zabo
Okay.
and Andy Hetzel.
Wow. Okay.
And
Two big
they'd come
names.
in and they would tell me, first we'd work out the outline shape,
Right.
and where they want their bindings.
Okay.
For more back, less back, and then they would tell me how flexible.
Okay.
And so then I'd take that and I'd make the profile, and then we had to figure out how is a person who doesn't know how to snowboard make this board perfectly every time.
Okay.
Quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I worked with Ernie DeLost. He was the GM of the factory.
Ernie. Yeah.
And he helped me a lot.
Okay.
And so we would determine, how all the parts would go together, and we'd glue them together, and we'd test them. And so we did like some destruction testing, where, how are you going to get the graphic on there? You have to screen print it. Well, now you've got plastic, and then you've got paint, and you've got to glue the paint to the wood core. So we did a lot of destruction testing on that, and, all kinds of, experiments like this. And then we'd go to the hill, and I had a pass at Snow Summit, and I'd go every weekend, and I'd go to the contests, and then I would just destruction test these boards, and I'd do tail taps off stumps and rail slides on benches, and like whatever I could do that might harm the board on purpose.
Right. Not thinking anything about harming yourself, but
no, as long as your board hits first, you're pretty much okay.
Did you ever have any serious injuries in snowboarding?
In snowboarding?
Yeah.
I had a few concussions.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that's about it.
That was it? Okay. Because I know, like, I broke ribs snowboarding. Every time I snowboard, I got hurt. I got pushed. I was up snowboarding with a bunch of pros every time, and they were like, "Come on, Andrecht." They'd been on the hill for like 50 days, and I'd been on the hill for 2, or trying to keep up with them, and it was just bad all the way around. But anyway, okay, so you're working at Taylor Daikuma. You brought a lot of boards in here, which is really cool. And
this was one that I made at Taylor Daikuma.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a Turner. This is a GS hybrid board.
Okay.
And Bobby Turner and Howard Gordon, who came in to help Bobby Turner kind of upsize his company. They came in and they said, "We want a snowboard construction on a skateboard." So there's a foam core, and then there's this white plastic. There's ABS all the way around it for the waterproofness, and then the same fiberglass on the top and the bottom. And so I had to design the thickness, the tooling, write the program for the CNC machines to cut it out.
Right.
And because I was the only one of 3 people at the factory who knew how to skateboard, I got to do wheel well testing.
Okay.
And they'd say, "Go down the hill and tell us if you get wheel bite."
Oh, great.
So that was
just hurt yourself.
Yeah,
Try not to hurt yourself, in other words.
Right.
Okay.
I later learned that if you tilt your front truck enough, you'll never get wheel bite.
Yeah. Okay.
But we didn't really know
back
that
then.
much back then. So this was.
So where's Turner? Where were they, in Colorado? Where was Turner located?
Turner was down here in San Diego.
Oh, were they?
He had a shop in Point Loma, right behind the stadium.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
then Bobby Turner passed away shortly after that.
Okay.
And so people tried to help Peggy to make more boards.
Yeah.
And keep Turner name alive, because it was
number one back then. It was like a top guy. Yeah.
Beautiful handmade, shiny fiberglass boards. So I worked with Peggy on this board. This one's called Habu.
Okay.
And this board is made like a cap construction style.
Okay, I can see that.
So it's got 2 pieces of fiberglass that are pushed together, foam core inside, and then the fiberglass on the outside. And it was really hard to get the wheel wells not to have wrinkles, any wrinkles. I didn't want any wrinkles.
Right.
And so by the time this board went into production, I was done making skateboards already. that was short lived. That one was
Okay.
on my own after Taylor Daikuma.
Okay, so you actually produced and made a lot of skateboards
Yeah.
back in those days.
I did.
Taylor Daikuma too was the leader in skateboard manufacturing back then.
They
You know that.
everyone's boards.
Yeah, they had CNC machines were going. I remember when they first got those. You know, they kind of revolutionized the whole CNC program and got that whole thing going because remember they were cutting like 5 boards at a time.
Yeah,
you know?
on the skateboard side, they were cutting 4 boards at a time.
Oh, was it 4?
Then they had another. 5. They might have been 5.
Yeah,
I thought it was. I'm used to seeing 4.
Okay.
But they might have had 5.
Okay.
They had another one for making molds.
Yeah.
And then on the snowboard side, we had a CNC driller. We had 3 routers, and we had a water jet.
Okay.
And the water jet would cut with 50,000 psi of water through a 30,000 7-inch aperture.
Ah,
And so we used
powerful then.
Yeah, they would cut through. It cuts through steel. We used it to make our tooling.
Okay.
And we used it to cut the noses off the fiberglass, off the noses and tails, because it doesn't leave any dirt.
Yeah.
You know, or any dust. It's like clean.
Yeah. Okay. So while you were, how long did you work for Taylor Daikuma at that
About
time?
5 years.
About 5 years. Okay.
Well, I worked there for 4 years, and then I left for a couple of years, and then came back for a year.
Okay. And then it went away. Like Taylor was
the
like
partnership broke up.
Is that what happened? Okay. I never did hear the story of how Rob and Ron separated it, and I just all of a sudden it was closed, and it was like.
It's not for me to say.
Yeah, no worries.
But,
I just. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you in that
really
position.
Liked Ron Taylor.
Yeah.
And I need to call him.
Okay.
Ron, I need to call you.
Are you still? Okay? So you're still in contact with Ron.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man.
I see Rob. You know, Rob it comes to events like quite a bit still. So and Rob talks about the stories from back in the day.
I believe it. I still see Ernie.
Okay, yeah.
Ernie is making loaded boards, some long boards, some kite boards he was making.
Okay.
And so I see him once in a while because we'll talk about later. I'm in the industry on the other side. And I saw Jason. He used to do the tooling.
Okay. I don't remember.
On the skateboard side.
Yeah,
He and I had the same job, but I was on the snowboard side.
Okay.
He was on the skateboard side.
Okay.
And so we see him once in a while because he's programming machines.
Yeah. When I would go to Taylor.
But everyone just kind of scattered.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for. I mean, I remember Ernie, and I remember Rob, and I remember Ron. Ron was upstairs on his desk, and Rob was floating around on the floor all the time. And Ernie was in the snowboard area.
What about Jeff Magnuson? He started screen printing skateboards.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
That.
Yeah.
He was kind of the GM over on the other side.
Oh, is that right? Side. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, when we walked in, it was always just, we'd go talk to Ron. That was it. And Rob would be the guy who's like, oh, you want new boards? Okay, give them to me. Like, okay. So
Jeff had a stack, stack of blanks, and I'd go in there every couple of months, like, Jeff, I need a skateboard.
Okay.
I'd go dig through and pick the one I wanted.
And then you had to pay your $6 for it, or?
No. Perk.
Perk. Okay.
It was a perk.
For the perk for working there. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get back here. No, I just think I find your engineering background amazing. Just in the sense of, you getting to actually make the boards, design boards, just the whole thing, going through all the construction of designing a skateboard like a snowboard with cap construction and everything else is, I didn't even know that Ernie and those guys did cap. I always thought that was done by the guys up at Lip Tech. Like, I thought they were, or actually, I think Troy. Yeah, I think Troy Churchill was one of the first guys to do cap boards. And then he sold that technology to Lip Tech, and I don't know.
Did he sell it?
Or they took it, or he showed them how to do it, and they took it. Yeah, I don't think he actually ever got any financial anything from it, but I think he was the one that first started doing it. I don't know if did you ever meet Troy Churchill? Did you know Troy?
I don't remember.
Okay.
And I met a lot of people at that job.
Yeah, okay.
But I know a lot of times we would just get a board, we'd go find boards or buy boards, or someone would bring in a board, and we just cut them in half
Okay.
and look on the inside and see.
Because I know Chuck
they
and
made.
Ernie are, I know that Troy and Ernie are friends still too.
He probably
Yeah.
probably was in there, but
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. You know, he's just a super good
Sorry,
guy.
Troy.
So yeah, he's just a super good guy. And he's been in skateboarding forever. He's done so much. He's built half the skateboard factories,
I've
and
heard
nobody
his
knows
name.
it. Nobody knows it.
I've heard his
But,
name a
you know.
lot, but he's kind of been a mystery. to me, I think.
Yeah. He's a good friend of mine. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to this thing, and let's talk about your finally get to the slalom here.
Okay.
Okay, because you have done an incredible job in slalom. Like, I think you probably beat just about every guy as well as women
Except
over
John
your,
McLaren.
except for John McLaren, huh?
Yeah.
He's the only one that still has you. Is he still doing it? Is he still doing it?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, I want to get him on the
Sometimes
mountain.
he-
I think it's time we put you guys together.
No, he can still be.
Where's he from?
Colorado. He lives in
Okay.
Longmont, Colorado.
Okay, interesting.
He lives in Longmont, Colorado. He hurt his back from years and years of overwork, and
Okay,
he had a back surgery.
okay,
And so since then, he hasn't been competing at the elite level.
okay.
He just comes out to 1 or 2 races a year and beats all of us.
Really? You know what? I think I heard about that guy. You know, I think Di told me about him, actually, when he was in it. Yeah.
Well, he's an
Yeah.
8-time world champion.
Okay.
His
Oh,
first time when he was 17.
8-time. How many do you have?
16.
Double that, baby.
The first time he beat me, he was 12.
Is that right? Okay. So how old were you at that time?
Maybe 36,
Okay. All right. So that's
37.
that's a pretty about the right time too. You know, I mean, age-wise for a 12-year-old getting into it, and 36. You know, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it's still, you know, if he's
Yeah.
got back issues now, I'll put my money on you.
But, well, I put my money on him.
Yeah.
Now he's in charge of the USA Slalom Committee for Team USA.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, for
Okay.
USA Skateboarding.
Okay.
And so he's still totally involved.
Okay.
And
All
he's
right.
got
I'm
a
not
board
talking
model.
any more smack then.
He's still got a board model for Skate Kings.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well,
a great board.
yeah.
Yeah, I ride it a lot.
Yeah. You know what? It was Di that mentioned and brought him up and said that he comes in every now and then and he takes everybody out. He just wins and then he leaves and never, you don't hear from him for a while. So,
Yeah. So
Okay.
I made this board, and
Uh-huh.
at the time,
Leave it up.
you know, Howard and Bobby, they said you need to come skate with our team.
Okay.
So we went out to this place called Stink Hill.
Okay.
It's off of Melrose out in San Marcos. It's not.
Okay.
It's you can't skate it anymore.
Okay.
But I was there. Tiger Williams was there, and Henry Hester was there, and Isabel Cottle was there. She's Isabel Freed now, and a couple other people. And we skated. We're all skating, and I hear Isabel like behind my back going, "Who is that?" And then Henry walks up to me and he goes, "Lynn, you need to keep doing this." And I'm like, okay. And he goes, "You're going to be top 3 in the world." And I'm like, "Shut up, Henry. You're just saying that."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I've seen a lot of girls skate."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just took it to heart,
Yeah.
you know, and
He was right.
he was right.
Henry's a smart guy. Got to give it to him, man. You know, there's one guy in this industry that has like the foresight to see like what's up. Like, you know, he came out with a Hester series. You know, he was the first one to do that. And if he came up to me and said, "Hey, you're gonna be top 3 in the world," you know, I mean, he was wrong. You became number 1 in the world, but
Well, that's still the top 3.
yeah, it's still top 3. That's right. So anyway, yeah. Wow, that's awesome. That's a good story.
Yeah, so
Good for Henry, man.
that was it. And about 6 months later, I had been to a few races, not done very well. Like my first race at West LA College, I got 19th out of 19.
Okay, so what? You hit like 50 of the 50 cones or what?
No, I think I was the only woman skating there.
Okay.
And it was my first race.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect or what. And so then I started skating, and Isabel was racing and Judy was racing. And about June, my boyfriend at the time, Eric, he's my husband now.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there, and he goes, "Do you have any goals?" And I'm like, "Is this a quiz?" So I think about it, and I'm like, I've already skated in the Soul Bowl. I've already built snowboards for a living. Ron, you didn't ever have to pay me. Come anyways. Yeah. I already went to nationals for snowboarding. Like, what else? And I go, well, I think I'd like to win worlds. And Eric just looks at me and goes, "You better start working." And it's a lot of work.
This was not, yeah, okay. I was going to ask you about practice. Yeah.
And he built a timer for us.
Eric did.
Eric did.
Okay.
And we'd take the timer out.
Is he an engineer as well? Or?
He's an electrical engineer.
Okay, electrical engineer. Okay, good. So you guys think the same then?
No. we do have very similar viewpoints.
Okay. Okay.
We get along really well.
Yeah.
We can say anything to each other, and that you can't say to other people.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of the same opinions. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been 100% behind me. He's the one. Do you have enough bearings?
Yeah.
Do you have enough axle nuts? Like, why do I need axle nuts? What if you lose one? What if what if the nylock wears out? Okay, I'll bring axle nuts.
Wow.
And so now I have a full toolkit with all the extra
that's
parts.
good. I mean, I would think you'd have like a couple extra sets of wheels and, all the geometers.
Wheels are obvious.
Yeah.
But like axles.
Yeah, I know. Axle nuts.
Like and everything.
I don't want to be.
Every bit and part on there, I've got extras, and everybody knows it. And at every race, someone will come up, "Lynn, I need a piece of grip tape."
They know you have it.
They know I have it.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. That's funny, but axle nuts, man, I would hate to be skating and having an axle nut fall off in the middle of the course. I don't know if I'd be skating the next run. You know what I mean? You guys are blazing down those hills, and I know you. Huh?
We're moving, but mostly wiggling.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's on the cones, but like I'm thinking giant slalom, for example.
Yeah, about 40 miles an hour on Curry Road.
Yeah.
Your wheel don't fall off.
I guess, okay, so I guess I understand now. I guess he's right. You don't want it to fall off.
Actually, Racer X had an axle unscrew, his radical, going around this corner that Johnny Miller had called the corner of death.
Okay, yeah.
And he went around it, and his wheel and his whole axle comes rolling off, and he's still going. And he's on 3 wheels.
His axle.
Yeah, the axles screw into the truck
gotcha.
The hanger, because the kingpin is lined up with the axles.
Right.
So you can't have a solid axle like you do on track.
Right. Okay, got it.
So the axle unscrewed, and he's still going along on 3 wheels, like completed it.
Wow, that's impressive. What kind of car is that they engineered like that? A Peugeot or something?
They could drive on 3 wheels?
Yeah, you could drive on 3 wheels. I think it's a Peugeot. I can't remember. But anyway, it's one of those engineering things,
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway.
So anyways, I went on to 2003 Worlds in Morro Bay.
Okay.
And it came down. I had won one of the races and got a second in one of the races or a third. And then it came down to the tight slalom. And it was going to be whoever won the tight slalom was going to win.
Overall. Okay.
And I beat Judy Oyama by 0.007 in 2 runs.
Wow.
To win that.
Wow. And that was giant slalom.
That was the tight.
Was that okay? Tight slalom.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, Judy. God bless her too, man. She's another one that just.
She doesn't stop.
She doesn't. She doesn't. I would love to get her on the show. Yeah. I've talked to her at the Poway a little bit, but no.
Talk about
Judy,
stories.
when you're ready. Yeah, I would love to have you and on the show for sure. Because she's another one that just, I just get amazed. I go in there and I look, I'm like, she's skating this again? Like,
she
there's
got
another one?
third in the hybrid at Worlds this
Wow.
year.
This year. That was in
Yeah.
Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Third. Pretty impressive. That's incredible. No, I followed it. I was pulling for certain other riders as well that was on that. Oh, what is this one here? This is that from?
That was this year, the first race. Every year, the Texas Outlaws have the
This is the Texas Outlaw.
Cold Fusion Sizzler.
Okay.
And they have this amazing hill. It's a soapbox derby hill. And there's a road to the left side of it. You can see where the smart car drives us up.
Okay.
So that we don't have to walk up the hill,
Right.
which we normally have to do.
Yeah.
And
get spoiled in Texas.
You get spoiled in Texas when it's not raining.
Right. Okay. True.
And so this was the first qualifying race for the World Skate Games in Argentina.
Okay.
And so we're 3 pre-qualifiers, so myself, Judy, and Maddie Prez.
Okay.
We got the podium.
So you went to Texas to get the qualifying for Argentina. Is that where you had to go?
Well, I was pre-qualified.
Okay.
What they did was they took the top 20 in the world, top 20 men, top 20 women.
Okay.
They said, you're in.
Okay.
Then USA Skateboarding, the Slalom committee, had to come up with some kind of a qualifying system to get 3 more men and 3 more women.
Okay.
And so we came up with an East Coast, a West Coast, and a
Midwest.
Central race, because we didn't think it was fair for somebody who lives on the East Coast, maybe can't afford to race all year long, but they're really fast.
That was my next thing.
So for this particular race, we qualified 3 times, and each time somebody qualified.
Okay. Interesting. No, I was just looking at that, and here you have to go to Texas for qualifications or wherever. A lot of people can't go and do that, even if it was from San Diego to San Francisco. They just time restraints, busy, whatever. But you pay yourself pretty much all the trips that you have to go on for skateboarding.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay, so
I have lots of Southwest miles.
Okay. Well, how do you get Southwest miles? How do you get them?
Because my work credit card.
Okay. I got it.
Work spends a lot of money on the credit card, and I use the miles.
Okay.
Plus, I'm Eric's companion, so if he goes, then I don't pay at all. But yeah, there's hotel, and there's rental cars.
That's special for you, and you have to pay all that.
I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that I have a good job.
Right.
My job lets me go.
Right.
Because I'm in charge.
Right. Because you own your own business.
I make enough money to go.
Right.
Because I had parents with foresight that said, you will go to college.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
And so I'm lucky. Now, some people, they can't afford that.
Right.
And so that's why, if they could go to the one race that was within driving distance of them, they could
go for the qualification at that one. Yeah. Because I noticed that you guys are doing, well, first of all, I know that you're still part of Lacosta Racing.
Yes.
You're on their board.
Yes. I'm their head coach.
And head coach for Slalom.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know, it just amazes me that you guys, you're still super involved, even, not only with work, with skating, but you're also heading up and working for them for free. Because I know nobody gets paid doing that, working for them.
I'm a volunteer.
Yeah, everybody's a volunteer on that. And there's, the website has, it costs money to do all that stuff as well. The website people, that's all volunteer too, but it's somebody's livelihood that's donating their time and effort to do that stuff. And I think it's amazing. I know you're treasurer now of the
yeah, I'm the treasurer.
Okay, so that's this year, but in the past, you're holding other positions for Lacosta Racing too, or other than coaching it as well? Okay,
so in 2019, it just started to become a nonprofit. We've only had 2 years of being a nonprofit. the history of Lacosta, short history of Lacosta Racing.
Okay.
In the 70s,
Right.
before I was
Right.
skateboarding,
Right.
they held the races, and it was just a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And it was Lacosta boys. They were mostly boys.
Yeah.
And they just had races, and Di would run the races.
Well, there was a few women up there, yeah.
There were a few women in there. And so these key people like Hester
Right.
and Shoefly,
Yeah.
and later Steve Sherman.
Steve Sherman, yeah.
And Tiger Williams, who was
Yeah.
like 10 at the time, but still racing. So these are the Lacosta boys.
Yeah.
Then when Slalom came back in 2000, they were still skating.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I was skating with. And they taught me to skate, and they taught JJ Corning and Clay Westling. And then, you know, we all learned to skate. And then I taught the Lehrmans. And so now Orion Lehrman went with me to the World.
Okay.
He qualified at the Worlds. I've been coaching him since he was 11. He's 22 now. And so now he's helping coach the newer people.
Okay. That's awesome.
Know it,
Yeah. He doesn't know it yet, but he's got to. Okay. Give up your trade secrets.
It's this passing down of the torch that is Lacosta Racing.
Right.
In 2004 or 5, maybe, Tiger and I got a business license, and we made a partnership.
Okay.
So that we could get a bank account, so that we could put on races, so people could send their entry fee to Lacosta Racing.
Right.
And so it was a business. And then in 2019, we changed it from Lacosta Boys to Lacosta Racing.
Okay.
And made it a nonprofit. And from that, we're able to, get tax deductible donations.
Beautiful.
And we helped send about 10 of the Team USA skateboarders to Argentina.
Oh, good.
Through public donations.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because I mean, it's still a lot of work.
It's a lot.
It's still a lot of work, especially when, you have your regular full-time job, you have, your practice. Like, how often do you practice? Like, I know that you guys have your like cone things that you do like every couple months. I think it's every couple months that you guys,
every month we'll have either a clinic or a race. We skate regularly on Sundays.
Okay.
If anyone wants to come skate on Sunday before sundown, come out to the pump station. We're probably going to be there.
Which pump station?
It's in Penasquitos.
Okay.
It's so blown out.
Is that the one that's right off the freeway?
It's right off the freeway by the 15 highway behind Chili's.
Okay. Right.
And we've been skating there since 2005. Dave Ham found it.
That's every Sunday.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys were going down there every Sunday.
Unless I'm snowboarding, and then they still go.
Okay.
They still go.
How many people are usually down there on a Sunday?
Between 2 and 12.
Really? Wow.
It just
okay.
Depends on what's going on.
Okay.
So we do that, and we're skating now during vacation on Thursdays, and then I do other stuff. I will go to the skateboard park, or I'll go surf, or I'll go to yoga, or I'll work out.
Right.
Working out a couple days a week.
Okay.
I ride my bike to work. So I mix it up a little bit.
How far is work on your bike?
2.5 miles.
Okay.
Straight down.
Straight down.
And then straight up.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. No, I was just curious on how often people were getting together and being able to practice and do all that stuff. Did they bring the big ramp up there on that, or do they just push right into it?
We usually push start.
Okay.
Once in a while, we'll have ramp practice.
Okay.
If a race is coming up and either it's a big race or somebody is new, has never been off the start ramps, then we'll pull them out and we'll practice on them.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
But we can't leave it out there, and it's
No.
to carry around.
The one that I saw was in the back of a truck that started up and big, and that's a big drop in, man. Like, I was looking at that thing.
Video right here. Say that.
What's that?
See video right here.
See video right here. Okay. Check this video out, you guys. You're going to love it. of the ramp, that is.
Is that the double drop?
Yeah, the double drop one. That's a beast. I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's a 10-foot, 12-foot drop in right there. And, you know.
Not the way it always is.
Yeah, no.
That was just one time someone said, hey, we can just put the other ramp up in the truck and put the other ramp on the end of the truck. And it
So
was
that's what it
super
was.
fun. But
Okay.
we don't do that all the time.
Okay.
We usually just ride one ramp.
Yeah, I thought it
We
was.
actually have the footage of Lynn on that.
Oh,
When we went
yeah,
down
yeah,
there, I
yeah.
got that footage.
Okay.
Awesome.
So we'll pull it up and look for it
We'll
up.
put that in there.
So we'll show it, so we can show it. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Lynn, I've seen you at probably, I don't know, 4 events now, different slalom events that I've gone to. You know, and the last one I was just like, holy cow, man! Like, I know you're really fast. You know, tell me about Skate Kings. How's everything going over there? With, I mean, that is like one of the premier slalom downhill.
They're my family.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The very first time I ever met Richie Carrasco, he comes up to me, puts his arm around me,
Yeah.
and he's like, Lynn, I know you're a very good skateboarder.
Yeah.
I know this. I
Okay.
want you to listen to me. And then he goes on to tell me how to pump.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
This is Rich right here.
Yeah. There's Richie and
Yeah.
Joe.
He's on the far right.
And if you know Richie, you're not gonna listen to Richie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If he wants you to do something, you're gonna do it.
Right.
So I did.
Yeah.
And 3 years later, I came out with my first pro model.
Yeah. Oh, that's their first pro
This
board.
is the first pro
Okay.
board. I was the first woman to ever have a pro slalom deck.
Yeah.
And so now, I mean, Skate Kings is my family. Like,
Yeah.
there's Richie and Richie's brothers, of course, the Flying Crascos,
Yeah.
David and Renee,
Yeah.
and Brad Jackman,
and those guys-
Joe, and Scott Hester.
Joe who? Joe
McLaren.
Okay. Joe McLaren. Okay.
and
Got it.
Scott Hester and Paul Chestnut and
Okay.
Kyle McLaren when he was junior. Kyle would get on a skateboard. Kyle Smith.
Okay.
So we're like this family. We're a
Okay.
team. We've been to Europe together, and we've got each other's backs. And you need a bearing, and someone's got one. And you need grip tape, and Lynn's got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
and so we're really happy. And I'm happy with them. And this is the third. Can I show you?
Yeah. Absolutely. Bring it up.
So
This
this
is-
is the third version of the Pro model. This one just came out
Okay.
like less than a month ago, and I think it's sexy.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
it's
Tell me
skinny and
about this board here now. Like, you designed it.
I
You had
did.
everything on the design.
It's
Okay.
it's geared towards tight slalom,
Okay.
and it's great for the smaller people who skateboard.
Okay.
I'm a men's size 9 shoe, so
Okay.
that's like pretty ideal. But even the little kids are all riding this,
Awesome.
because it's
What's
not
the
so
wheelbase
big.
on it?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
3 wheelbases, the smallest one is 18.5 inches.
Okay.
And I ride that like on a 100 cone challenge.
Okay.
There's a
okay.
19.5 inch wheelbase. That's a pretty standard tight slalom wheelbase for me.
Okay.
And then I have this one stretched out to 20.5, and I've got my hybrid trucks on it. So I'm riding this one now on the mid-sized courses as well.
Okay.
So everything except for a giant slalom.
Okay.
Although Colin Cruz rides his on giant slalom.
Okay. Yeah.
He came out to GS practice last week and rode his Lynn Kramer the whole day.
Oh, did he?
And was
Awesome.
still fast
You know,
for everybody.
he's such a good guy, man.
Yeah.
I really like him.
Yeah, Colin
know,
is amazing. He's
Yeah.
talk about skate everything.
Future guy too.
He is
Up and coming guy.
Just great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just a good all around super good dude.
Yeah.
So what is your worst injury that you've had doing slalom?
From slalom.
Yeah. I mean, is it mostly road rash or is it
I can
I don't-
think of 2.
okay?
The first one was after Nationals in 2003 in Breckenridge.
Okay.
So we went to the after party, and drinking happened at the after party. And we had every intention to go in the hot tub.
Okay.
And so after the after party, Tiger and I are walking up the hill, and we're like, we need to ride this hill again.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Oh, no.
so we go down the hill, we get to the bottom of the hill is a foot drag. And,
Okay.
and I was too drunk to be skateboarding with no helmet or pants. And so I'm like, I can't foot drag. There's
Yeah.
no way I'm taking my foot off this board. And so I saw
no.
the side street and I went to go curve up the side street, but I didn't see the swale and the other swale and the sand in the swale. And I ended up on my head.
Oh, man.
I rang the bell. If you've heard this expression, it's real. If you hit your head hard enough,
Yeah.
the bell does ring.
Yeah.
And so Tiger went back to get the car, and I crawled my way to the sidewalk, and I was laying on the sidewalk, just laying there on the sidewalk. And I don't want to name any names, but 2 skaters drove by, and they saw me there. And they rolled down their window, and they're like, "Hey, Lynn, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." And they left.
Okay.
Like, really? You believed me? How could you believe me? I'm laying on the sidewalk.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
But I guess.
So it's kind of an inside story now when you see those guys and be like, yeah, you're dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
You idiots. I
So,
was like dying.
so that was one. The other one was I was teaching these 2 women how to tie slalom.
Okay.
And for some unknown reason, I wasn't wearing my slide pucks. I always wear my slide pucks.
Okay.
And so I was going, and I had new trucks, and I got wheel bite.
Real white.
I got a wheel bite. These were GOG trucks, which was the last time I ever rode them. And I had only been riding them like a week.
Okay.
So I got wheel bite. I landed on my face.
Oh, man.
I also broke my hand, but not knowing it at the time. And I was sitting on the curb. I was sitting on the curb like this. And the girl comes over. She's like, "Let me see." And I'm like, and she goes, "Let me see." And she goes, "Let me see." And I
Yeah.
go like this. And she goes,
Oh, no.
"Hospital."
Oh, wow.
That was her words.
Oh.
So I'm feeling my teeth. And my teeth were like back here in my mouth. And I'm like, that's not right. And I took my tongue and I pushed them forward. And they go, and they pretty much stayed there. so I put my
Wow.
own teeth back in my head.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Those, I think, were the 2 worst slalom crashes.
Okay, man. All right. Man. Okay. I was just curious. I
But it's
mean,
fine.
I don't know if what's worse between concussion or having your teeth and pushing them back into place.
I don't know.
Did you get a concussion on that as well from hitting, in the front? Obviously. you
Probably.
to,
I had a scab from here to here.
Okay.
It healed really well.
Okay.
I put this stuff on it that Mrs. McLaren, like Joe and Kyle's mom,
Okay.
used to go to the races, and she gave me this stuff when I fell on my hip.
Okay.
She's like, "You have to put this on you twice a day. It's the best thing." And I put it on twice a day. I had some,
Yeah.
and it you can't even tell.
Must have had vitamin D on it or something,
But
right?
it had some vitamin E in it for
Oh,
sure.
E,
I don't
okay.
remember the name of it because they don't make it anymore.
Okay.
It's some little company out of Boulder,
Well,
Colorado.
now you can put on some Claire.
I use Claire.
Yeah.
Claire's great. I use it on my face
Yeah.
to get it gets the oils out. Yeah, I've got a youthful complexion.
That's right.
Partly because I still skateboard.
Yeah. Well,
Skateboarding
that's the whole
keeps
thing.
you young, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, this is really good stuff.
Yeah.
And I know Colin uses this on his back a
Does he?
lot.
Oh, does he?
Yes, uses
Okay.
it every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know Colin had a bad back.
He rides a skateboard too.
No, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every skateboard.
Every
He
I've
rides it
learned
all.
that every old skateboarder has bad L4, L5,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
every old skateboarder has at least some dental work in the front. And I'm sure there's one or two
You
that
got
don't.
me.
If you don't, you are so lucky, or you're not skating hard enough.
Well, I chipped my tooth learning rocks to fakie before anybody else was doing it. So it was like rock and rolls came out, and I immediately started doing rock to fakies. And I did one. I got pitched at Oasis, and I chipped my. That's why it's a different color too.
You're not alone.
Yeah, so I did
not
have that
alone.
as well. But anyway,
Pay to play.
that's right, man. I think my worst injury though was just concussion, Del Mar. And Kim Suspides was like, I remember her just slapping my face because I was out. She's like, Dave, wake up, Dave. I was like, oh. Speaking of ringing the bell, that was my turn for sure.
I've had almost
So-
as many concussions as world championships.
What?
I've had 14.
Really? Holy cow.
Everything. I follow.
From like other sports or just like all from skateboarding? Most of them from skateboarding?
Riding my bike, from
Okay.
snowboarding,
Okay.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
I got a concussion because I was hanging upside down by a chin-up bar. But the chin-up bar, I was like 12 and it was too high. So I lowered it and I twisted it with
Not tight enough.
my 12-year-old
Yeah.
muscles.
Yeah.
And I was hanging upside down by my knees, as kids do. And off I went into the carpet, and the thing nailed me in the back of the head. And that was
Wow.
the beginning of the concussions.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit reckless, I guess.
No, I wouldn't say that. I just, yeah.
Type A personality.
Yeah.
Definitely type A
That's all
personality.
it is.
Yeah.
It just goes with the territory.
Okay, well, let's see. Where are we? On 18. Okay. Speaking, back that was for Rich, but anyway,
19.
yeah.
We're talking about
Here we go. Okay, so your favorite type of skating as far as slalom goes, though, has been bank slalom. Giant slalom? Is that like what you enjoy the most on those type of contests?
I love tight slalom.
Okay.
I love the bank slalom.
Okay.
I go to ditch slap as often as I can.
You know what? We want to go to ditch slap. So you got to let us know when that next one is so we can make our way to it. Okay?
Definitely.
Because that looks like
fun.
so much fun.
We
Yeah.
both want to do
So much fun. Yeah. I know. I would definitely want to get involved into something like that. That looks
Okay.
just like amazing. So
Yeah.
that and Joe Lim's thing out in New Mexico.
That's
Um,
the same.
Is it the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the ditch slap then? Does he do it in other places then too?
There was that one we watched on the video.
Yeah,
where
that
they
was like in a-
communicated, they were just having just absolute stupid fun.
Yeah, that one too. But I thought that was like
last year.
I thought it was San Francisco.
I thought it was LA.
Okay, they have another thing where they have a ditch thing. I think guys
Well,
from
there's one in Mecca.
I think Independent actually puts that on. Didn't they put it on?
Yeah, 'cause
Indy?
you're right. That was NorCal.
Yeah, that was NorCal one. It
They
was
just-
Independent
They just
that put
had
it on.
one in a ditch down here, and
at where Tecolote or at
they call it Tick Ditch now. We called it Miramar Ditch.
oh okay
But it looked like they were just racing down the middle of it.
okay
And they were skating it like you would skate a ditch, but they weren't. It didn't look like a bank slalom.
okay
And there's a bank slalom in Las Vegas at
okay.
Mecca.
Yeah, I haven't
You have
done.
to
I
walk
would.
like an hour to get to it.
Okay, great.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then the picture that was just up was in High Valley Skate Park in Sweden.
This one here?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
this
one.
is Sweden?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
in Stockholm, Sweden, and they have a bank slalom in their skateboard park.
Awesome. Okay. Wow.
That was
Did
super
you
fun.
get to skate any of the bank slaloms back in the day? Did you even think about that when you were skating? The old skate park? 'Cause you were around when the old skate parks. Did you
What
get to do
is
any-
back in the day?
You went to Del Mar, so did you
A
skate?
couple
Did
times.
you skate the bank slalom at Del Mar?
Yeah,
That-
back in the back.
That was
Yeah.
terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I
That was
skated that.
terrible.
There's
Yeah.
a really good one in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think it's New Lynn Park.
Newland Park.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's obviously it's a snake run, but it's like this, and then it's like a tadpole.
Okay. That bull.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
tadpole.
All right. Fair enough.
And that's super fun. That was a really good one because you go down and then you go around the bowl and then you can go back up too.
Okay. Yeah, those are always the fun ones
was a
when you
fun
can
one.
work it back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let's talk. I want to talk really quick about the 50 cone challenge.
Okay.
And now, what was your part in all that? Did you help figure out like it's got to be this, it's got to be a flat surface. Okay, I don't know who started all that. So I just saw like when I was like that one event at the school, they had the 50 cone challenge there, and you know, there's quite a few kids buzzing through that thing, and then they switch up the cones.
That was
They go from
that's
straight, then they
25
go
cone World Series.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, so there's 3.
Okay.
These are organized, and the rules are set by ISSA, International Slalom Skateboard Association.
Okay.
So the 25 cone, there's a start box, and then 15 feet, and then now it's 18 feet.
Okay.
25 cones, they're 6 feet apart.
Okay.
And then there's a finish line.
Uh-huh.
And then you do it this way, and then you also do it this way. And in the last 2 years during COVID, because we couldn't go to races,
Okay.
but we were all practicing.
Okay.
You know, we'd have 6 or 7 people, and we would just, you know, you don't want to skate within 6 feet of someone anyway. So each team would have their own, you know, we'd have Germany and Japan, and Sweden has some, and Texas does it, you know, and so there's others, and Brazil does it.
Right.
And so everybody sets the same course. So that's when they started staggering it.
Okay.
And that's still part of the 25 cone World Series.
Okay.
Then there's 50 cones. If 50 cones flat, it has to be flat. It has to be like within 3 feet. The cones are 5'3" apart.
Okay.
Which is really close.
Yeah.
It's a lot closer than 6, which is pretty standard. You're not allowed hitting.
Right.
You hit one, you just start over.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that was my first world record.
Okay.
It was
On the 50.
on the 50.
Okay.
It was 13.
Okay, I missed that one. How much? 13?
13.06.
Okay.
That was in 2007.
Is that still current?
No,
Okay, somebody's beaten it. You've beaten it since then.
we need to beat it. I did beat it, but I didn't beat her.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So
she still got it.
Scarian's got it.
So this is a new goal.
She's Latvian. They're very good. So there's a 50 cone. And then the same weekend, it was called World Record Weekend.
Okay.
In 2007, we set up the 100 cone. And the 100 cone, the only rule is that they're in a straight line.
Right.
You know, doesn't matter how far apart they are. Because
Okay.
if they're further apart, it's
It's
easier
going
to
to take
make.
you longer. Yeah.
But it's easier to make.
Right. Absolutely.
And so we set that, and that was the clean record that I set on
Okay.
that day. And that still holds.
For 22 seconds.
How
And
far were the cones?
were they
on
like
the 100?
6 feet?
How much did you put them at? 6 feet?
6 and a little bit.
Hmm.
I actually, Renee Carrasco, no, Renee Carrasco set the course because
Okay.
he wanted to do the Masters record.
Okay.
We had been trying all morning and we couldn't make it. And Renee showed up and he goes, "I'm making it wider." And Richie's like, "You're going to have to go further." But Richie can't really say anything because Renee's his older brother. And he has to listen to him. So,
Yeah, but who's the bigger brother?
hard to say. At the time, it was Renee.
Yeah.
Not a
Okay.
cannonball.
All right. There you go.
So we set it bigger. We spread it out
Okay.
more, and I made it on the second try.
Wow. That's amazing.
And then I threw up.
Did you really? From just an
Heat.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a hot day then.
It was super hot.
Okay. Oh man, that's a tough one. Okay, so the only reason I brought it up is because I know there's a lot of people who want to like do the challenge. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how do you set it up? You know, go to Lacosta Racing. Do they have it on their website to
No.
know what the terms are? Or
Slalomskateboarder.com.
SlalomSkateboarder.com. Okay.
Slalomskateboarder.com has a resources section.
Okay.
In the resources section, they have all the slalom racing rules,
Okay.
and they have all the world record rules, and they have the 25 cone World Series rules.
Okay.
We're going to be doing the next one February 4th or 5th.
Okay.
We don't know which day yet.
Okay.
I don't know as it gets closer. We do it in the morning, and we do it at a local spot over here, and anyone can get a hold of me, and I'll tell them where it is.
Awesome.
Was that the spot we
Okay.
went to? The secret spot?
Probably.
We showed up to, when was
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
that was that spot.
That was
Yeah,
a
that's a good
cool
place.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good spot, and nobody cares that we're there.
There's not a lot of traffic, but it's a nice street, and it's yeah. I know on the weekend, I think 1-2 cars passed the whole time that we were there
I'll
for
insert the video.
a couple hours. So
Show the course.
yeah. Oh, you don't want to show the course though.
Well, I got a bunch of videos of her going down there.
Yeah. We did. Got quite a bit of footage that day, actually. So
Were there cars? Because that was a different spot.
no, they're just 2 cars. I said drove down. I don't know, unless it's a different place. But there was like
a gas station at the right hand side at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Where we went and met you guys.
I have no idea where you were.
Okay. All right.
In the town that starts with this letter. Because we're trying to keep it secret.
It was in Vista, right?
It was in Vista.
It was in Vista. Was it in Vista? Is your secret spot?
No,
We go to that.
that was the party.
The party.
That was the Lacosta year-end party.
Yes, that's where we were
Yeah,
at that one. That's not the spot.
Actually, we're trying to get a permit with Vista to have
An
a
event there.
race there in
Okay.
August,
Okay.
and they're totally into it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, Vista rips.
Okay. Wow, that sounds like the old 8th Street video from John Sonner, I think it was, or John Schulte's, one of the other ones.
Still have
Vista rips.
Skateboard get involved. How can
Yeah.
we help?
Yeah.
You can come film it. I don't know. How do you want to help?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Pick up codes.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got chairs and we got people.
We need an announcer.
Yeah. Okay. We'll call Duncan up and see if he's gonna be around. We'll help. We'll see. Otherwise we'll
Yeah,
put
they're real small, but it's a really good race to go to if you have never raced slalom before,
yeah.
because it's flat, and so there's not a lot of risk for
Right.
big injury.
Yeah, you can
And
yeah.
it's a fairly straightforward, easy course. It's short.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean that was a really fun day. There was a lot of people that showed up to that too. I got to see a lot of old friends that I hadn't seen in a long time.
At the party.
Yeah, at the party.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, and a lot of old downhill guys were there. It was a lot of support. I was kind of,
Yeah.
taken back for a minute, when I went in there and I was like, wow. Was surprised to see you here. And they were saying that, like, what are you doing here?
Oh, Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo Brown came out.
So Dennis Chavelle was there.
Dennis
Or
always
Dennis,
comes.
I mean, that's amazing. Especially since he was
Yeah.
such a big
Player.
player,
Shoe Fly is
when he was
amazing.
there.
He's so supportive. He's always been supportive of me. He's just amazing and inspirational.
Yeah. And Hudson was there, Johnny. So, there's another guy that, has been in the industry forever and supported downhill as well. So anyway, yeah, okay. So moving along here, we've gone over practice. So for future, what's your opinion on where's this thing heading? I mean, it
Olympics.
just keeps Olympics. Good. Okay. It should be because it's a timed event.
It's a timed event.
And numbers don't lie. And there's no cool guy winning because of coolness factor. It's just, hey man, what did 2201 wins, I love that. There's no fighting it or anything, So, all right, Olympics.
Yeah, I don't know who makes the decisions on that.
Uh-huh.
I know it's just a matter of time now that skateboarding is in the Olympics.
Right.
It's real easy to add disciplines.
Absolutely.
Look at snowboarding. They've got pairs skater or snowboard cross now.
Well,
What is pairs snowboard cross? I've never even heard of it.
I don't know, but it's kind of fun to watch.
Sure it is.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I enjoy it because, it's reckless.
The pump station.
Okay, this pump station. This is the Poway. This is the Poway one, or Penasquitos.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is
This hill is all time. Dave Ham found this hill, and it's just been amazing. It's an amazing place to practice, and now we're finally in with the city, You know,
Right.
before everyone would go and the cops would show up, they'd watch, they'd leave.
Yeah.
The guys who work at the bottom of the hill, they'd show up, and as long as they could get to work, they didn't care.
The guys at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, at the pump station. It's a water.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. No. I know. I just don't even. Yeah. No, I know. That's why I'm like, guys that work down at the bottom of the hill, man. It's just like a water thing down there. That's it, man. Like, who's working? And on Sunday, I guess they do work on Sundays though too. They've got to keep tabs of the water, but yeah, okay, yeah. So,
but everyone's cool with us being there. There's no neighbors.
No.
You know, we do trash pickups. We sometimes will trim the bushes back out of the street.
Okay.
I haven't done that in a while. They used to do it. The city used to do it.
Right.
They quit doing it when COVID came.
Okay.
For some reason.
Yeah.
And so we would help out so that we could still run 2 lanes and not have a bush.
Right.
slap you in the face.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, no, that place that is a really, really good place to be because there is nobody,
Right.
you know, and it's not.
It's
At 6 or 7 degrees,
not the whole way.
Yeah, not the whole way. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
It is for a while.
Yeah, for a minute, and then it flattens
there's
out.
A nice carvy place at the bottom, and then there's a run out.
Right.
You know, it goes perfectly flat. So
Yeah.
it's a great hill.
Yeah. So where's this one here at?
This was World Skate Games in Argentina.
Oh, this is Argentina. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're getting down to the end here.
Oh,
okay.
that's so sad.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying,
The
like,
end of
this
the
is
timeline.
from 22.
Yeah, this was 2022. That was day one. I had just won the hybrid.
And this is 16, right?
Number 16.
This is number 16.
Number 16.
World champion, man.
And like at that moment, all the weights were lifted off of me.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I had been working so hard, training, working out, skating, coaching,
Yeah.
traveling to the qualifiers, making all these T-shirts for our team. Judy did an amazing job on the graphic, and
She
her
did
and
the
I,
artwork? Okay.
she did the artwork, and her and I put everybody's logos on their own shirts.
Oh, awesome.
And Lacosta
Wow.
donated the shirts to the people that were on Lacosta.
Wow.
And just travel plans and everything.
Who does all the travel plans for everybody? Does everybody do them
Lynn.
individually? Oh, Lynn
No,
does them all?
everybody does them.
Oh,
Everybody makes their own travel plans.
okay.
But it was really difficult because we didn't know how to get to San Juan, Argentina. Like,
Wow.
you have to fly to, you can fly to Buenos Aires and stay there overnight
Yeah.
and then take a plane from the other airport.
Oh,
to go to
wow.
San Juan.
Okay.
Or you can go through Chile and then you end up in Mendoza. It's 2 hours away,
Okay.
and you can take a bus or rent a car and get to San Juan, Argentina.
Wow. So it's pretty remote.
It's like Bakersfield.
Oh, boy. Okay.
It's nothing there. But the people there were super nice.
Yeah.
They all bend over backwards to help you. Our landlord, we rented an Airbnb for 10 of the Team USA people.
Okay.
And our landlord was over, like, joking around with us and helping us with our money exchange and, everything. Just,
Awesome.
he was great. And all the restaurants were super nice, and the taxi guys were super nice.
Okay.
And you could get anywhere in the city for $3 in a taxi.
Really? Wow.
Super cheap. Everything out there was cheap.
But their inflation is like ridiculous over there, from what I understand. Isn't it like 58% or
It
something?
might be, but it's still.
Oh, it's $3 US.
It's still like
Okay.
$8.50 for dinner with drinks and dessert.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe it used
So
to
they
be
no. Their thing is they love your American dollars. That's
They
why
do.
they love the American
It's
dollar.
a
And that's
cash
why it's so
economy.
cheap. Yeah.
It's a cash economy.
Yeah.
If you're going to go there, bring
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah, hide
For
your
sure.
cash, but yeah, bring it.
Yeah. So the World Skate Games was over the top, and it's kind of sad because this year our Worlds is going to be like all the Worlds before it. It's it's a nice race. It's a great setup race, and they have food for the racers and stuff.
Okay, well, where's
but
this
the
at now?
World Skate, this coming up World,
Yeah.
we don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be in the U.S.
Okay.
But at World Skate Games, we were on a Formula One racetrack.
Okay.
And they had food for everybody, and they had all those riders' tents, and they had buses from the hotels.
So it was at the Autodrome
That's
in
awesome.
Argentina.
Yeah, it was
That
called
is
a Villicom.
Villicum, yeah, that is a great.
Wow.
I've watched many an F1 race there.
Really?
But I wish they'd put it back on the calendar.
San Juan Villicom.
Yeah, that was an F1. That was the last time they raced there was late 90s.
It's in such good shape.
Because there's still a lot of racing in Argentina.
Local racing, man. Yeah.
But that is an amazing. That I
was
didn't know
awesome.
that. I didn't know it was there. That's amazing.
Yeah, and they had like the jumbotrons.
It's a great venue
and
there.
4 cameras on every angle, so like they get your entire run going down the hill, and instead of just being at the finish line, they have to zoom way in.
Right.
It was really well done.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so when you go and start over for the Worlds for this year for training and stuff, when does that start? Are you in it right now for this next year? And when is the Worlds going to take place? Is it like August, or do we know the date or anywhere?
We know nothing.
No, nothing yet, huh?
It's usually between August and October.
Okay. Why do they keep it secretive? Or is it just that it
It's
hasn't
not a
been
secret.
organized? Okay.
Somebody has to volunteer.
Oh, I got it. Okay. So we got to call Di or
I'm sure I will have some hand in the
Okay.
organization of it, but
wow.
Lacosta Racing doesn't want Worlds.
Okay.
But we might want nationals,
Okay.
and definitely some of us will be helping at Worlds for sure.
Okay.
But we need to come up with a good location and a good crew.
A good sponsor.
Maybe
you guys get
this-
sponsored on that stuff?
Not enough.
Not enough. Okay. I mean, like, okay.
We
Will
have
be-
some
will be.
sponsors.
You know, it's
We have
just-
some very good sponsors.
Yeah.
We have a lot of private parties giving us. Mike Williams just gave us a whole bunch of money. Robin
Mike
Logan.
Williams?
Robin Logan.
Mike Williams?
Mike Williams. Robin
Really?
Logan is always giving us money.
Does
Di
Mike-
is always giving us
Do
money.
you talk to Mike very often, or no?
No.
Unreal. Well, good for Mike. I'll have to reach out.
Yeah.
I Mike's the one who got me on Gull Wings, so I was always,
Yeah.
and he's a huge downhill guy himself, and he is over the top competitor. Like that guy's got blood.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He came through.
wow.
Some of my friends from Ski Club came through, and Riptide, big sponsor. Riptide bushings.
Okay.
They make bushings and foot stops primarily.
Interesting.
And
Footstops too. Okay.
yeah, they're in they mostly put their bushings in the don't trip trucks.
Okay.
And,
Interesting.
and so
Okay,
they've
I've never
been
heard of
very
them before.
supportive.
Okay, well, that's great.
Powell is supportive.
Okay. Good for
Powell's in the downhill now.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're gonna start seeing some Powell downhill riders then, or do we already have them out there? I have no idea
There,
who rides for
there
them.
are. Don't ask
Okay.
me their
Have
names
they tried
right
to,
now.
have they
Okay.
tried to get
But,
you on their team?
Kevin Rhymes is in charge of.
Who is?
Kevin Rhymes.
I don't know.
He's a downhill world champion.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm sure he still races, but he's focused now.
Okay.
on
Yeah, I
promoting
mean,
and stuff.
Powell always tries to get the best, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe you signed
So, yeah. Never. No, man, she's never leaving
No,
Skate
she's never
Kings,
leaving
man.
those guys. That's
Yeah.
why I made that comment, because she's never going to leave them.
Never.
Because they're family.
They're
You
family.
don't leave family, right?
Yeah, you don't do that. Yeah. Okay. So, what else do we have? We have a lot of this magazines and stuff in front.
Yeah, we have some magazines here. These are this is the Concrete Wave
Yeah.
that Steve Cavallero is on the cover of.
Yeah.
And this was summer 2006. So Concrete Wave, if you're not familiar with it, was around for, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 years.
Yeah. Good 10 years.
And
Michael Brooks. Michael was the one that
Michael Brook, he's
was
Canadian.
awesome. Yep.
And he focused
Oh.
on downhill, slalom, pools, women,
Longboard.
kids, anything that wasn't a 18-year-old male on a handrail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this was my first 2-page interview.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And actually, this is where I got coined the Slalom Queen. And that has lasted forever.
Well, whoever coined it did a good job.
I think it was
They nailed it.
Gary Fluitt.
Oh, really? Okay.
This was another concrete wave. This one was earlier in 2006, but this one was my first ad.
First magazine ad.
This was my first magazine ad for Split Fire.
Wow. Okay.
Split Fire trucks.
Right.
Gary Fluitt came up with these trucks.
Uh-huh.
And the axle goes through the kingpin.
Axle goes through the kingpin.
Was the axles, they screw into the hanger
Right.
on either side so that the axle and the kingpin are lined up to each other. Where on like a street truck, your axle is
right.
here.
Right.
Yeah, it just turns differently.
Huh.
It's a reverse kingpin truck.
How'd you like it?
I really like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You still skating them? Is that what you have on the board here?
I have one. No,
Okay.
right now I have Radicals.
Okay.
And I'm going towards Don't Trip. I ride Don't Trip on my front trucks.
Okay.
On some of my boards.
Okay.
And that's going to be.
So let me ask you, how much does a set of these trucks cost for slalom? For up, top of the line? What are you looking for?
They're probably about $185 a piece.
Okay. I was going to say around $350
per set.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because these are the precision style trucks.
They're CNC'd.
Okay. Yeah.
They have a spherical bearing in the pivot.
Oh my gosh, they do.
They have a spherical bearing between the two bushings.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And they have these axles screw in as well.
Right.
Because you can see that the hanger actually, there's not much hanger there.
Right.
And so these have a little bit of rake, meaning that the axle doesn't go exactly through the kingpin, but pretty close. And then this is the Dragon's Tail. They don't make Radicals anymore.
Okay.
But these, you can adjust the height of the wheel. I never adjust it. This is how I ride them.
Okay.
But again, it brings the axle through the middle of the kingpin, and that's a really big point in all the race RKP trucks, reverse kingpin trucks.
Wow. RPG. Okay. I was just thinking back in the old days of split axle trucks that Goldwing used to do, the Phoenix truck, back in 1970, 76, 75, 76, I think it was when they came in there, and Mike Williams was the guy who designed them and developed them. And look at that, he was a big downhill slalom guy. I never understood that. And then they came out with the Pro 3s and stuff, and he did that for us. Didn't even realize it, man. I was such a naive kid. Yeah, anyway.
This is this is on the edge snowboarding, but if you flip it over, it's on the edge skateboarding.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. So you got to have.
Which is great for SoCal when you can go to Big Bear and then come home for glass off.
That's right.
So that was a photo that I took. This one right here. Yeah. It's in the Soul Bowl in 2001.
Okay.
And I had a cast not from the slalom accident. This was the cast from the backside air incident.
So how many times you broke your wrists?
One each.
One each. Okay.
Yeah, I usually wear slide gloves or wrist guards.
Yeah. Okay.
My husband is very strict.
Good.
About pads.
Yeah, you should be.
This is a Snowboard Magazine, Fresh and Tasty, that was out for about a year in the 90s, I'm guessing. December 1997. And they asked me to write an article, an engineering article. And by the way, so Paul Schmidt, the professor,
yes,
I looked up to him in college. He wrote for Transworld, and he wrote his Tech Talk articles.
Okay. All right.
And I tried to communicate with him. I communicate with him all the time now, but back then I tried to say, hey, can I do this? And I don't know if we ever really connected. But so in his in his shadow, I
Okay.
did this similar kind of article for Fresh and Tasty.
Okay.
And this one is on fun with bindings.
Awesome.
And it's all about how to adjust your bindings for different kinds of riding and foot placements and
Right.
stuff.
Just riding conditions, right?
Mostly the angles of your feet and your comfort and performance.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And then I have the Equal Time magazines. I've got all three of them.
Okay, for women's, that
Yeah.
strictly fun women. Okay.
They're strictly women, and these were the magazines that we put out when we were doing Women's Skateboard Network.
Okay.
And these were all hand printed, and we had a dark room in the bathroom.
Okay.
And so George is the one that helped me a lot with this, and this is where I met a lot of my lifelong friends
Yeah.
that I have now through skateboarding.
You know, I'm surprised I don't see more of these types of magazines nowadays, considering the fact that women probably make up 30% of skateboarding, you know, overall. I mean, there's so many women at the parks and skate parks everywhere now. Back then, you know, you might have had 100 girls skating around.
We had 250 people on our roster
Okay.
in 8 countries.
In 8 countries. Okay.
But I mean, that's worldwide.
Right. That's worldwide.
But like Natalie, she was from Germany. She came to UCSD.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah, to
Rad.
skate.
Yeah.
She came to skate with us and take pictures. You know, and she's doing rock and rolls on Vert in the late 90s, 80s, late 80s. Stephanie Curson,
Yeah.
she was huge in the 80s. She, oh my God, the power of this woman skating. And she came down and did some interviews with us, you know, and so they were there. And they're there now. And I don't know why there's no women's skateboard magazine. They don't really have magazines anymore.
No, I know that.
That's
No.
maybe
But
why.
even like,
But we have
different-
exposure.
right.
You know, Amelia has done an amazing job with exposure. They have a big contest every year.
Yeah.
Now they have a video contest every year.
Okay.
And every other month, I think, they have this opportunity called Skate Rising, where they take a bunch of new skateboards and they bring them to the Encinitas skate park, and they teach little girls how to skateboard.
Awesome.
And it's all levels. Like, there's beginners like never evers, and then there's people, you know, working on kickflips and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I went to that this year, and there was about 40 girls came
Yeah.
to learn to have lessons on skateboarding.
Well, I know it's getting really big. This last weekend, I was at the Death Racer event, and you know, you're sitting there and you're watching all the old guys and stuff skate.
And here comes Shelby.
One bowl over, man. I don't know. She was probably 13 years old. She was doing 5-foot backside airs back to back, and I was just like, turned my back on all the old guys. And I just started watching.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, guys, I'm like, come on.
So good.
They're so good.
Now, I
man.
mentioned Shelby.
So,
Shelby Reed
yeah.
or Shelby Backman. I'm not sure what she goes by right now. But
Just Shelby.
Shelby.
We'll go with Shelby.
Shelby
Yeah.
rips.
Yeah.
She
There's-
rides with them sometimes, and I ride with her sometimes, but I can't keep up.
You mean with the Death Racer group, or Shelby does? Okay. What does she look like?
She's blonde.
Okay, no. This
You
girl,
met her.
this girl, yeah, I remember Shelby. I'm talking. This girl had brown hair,
Oh.
and she was probably 13.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of them.
she was just destroying it. And she wasn't in the little bowl. I mean, she was in the big bowl.
Yeah.
You know.
The big flow bowl.
Yeah.
The bigger flow.
Yes. And she's just popping 4-foot and backside and 5-foot backside air back to back and smooth. And I was just like, wow. You
Are
know.
you sure it wasn't JoJo? Because, you know, she comes sometimes.
I
No, it
with-
wasn't JoJo.
wasn't JoJo.
No, I don't know.
But yeah,
I
there's,
didn't
there's other
ask. I
girls.
should have asked who she
There's
was.
other
but
girls, and I don't know all of their names, but I subscribe to a lot of them on Instagram.
oh yeah. Oh, I do too. I
I see
have.
their video, and I just want to go sit in the corner.
Yeah, that's right. I know. I totally get it. That's awesome. No. You never have to sit in the corner. You know, ever. You've done more for the sport and promoting it and helping. You know, hopefully women will go out and watch this and see this and you know, be like, hey, I want to be a slalom racer.
Me too.
You know,
I need more
that's-
women to race.
Yeah. You know, and coach and help and bring in, like you said, you know, like the guys from Lacosta, you know, they take it in the next group and the next group and the next group, you know, and that's what we need to do to keep this continue to grow. Because, you know, I hear all this, oh, skateboarding's dying type of thing, you know, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But then you go to skate parks, you see nothing. There's, you know, 50, 75 people
dying.
every time. And the age groups now, I mean, I go because there's a lot of the old guys go, and I get called with the old borough guys and the Death Racer guys and stuff. And, you know, so I go out and see all those guys. But you can look at the rest of the skate park and see, like, okay, there's no way someone can tell me this sport is slowing down, because there are, you know, there's little girls that are 5, 6, 7 years old floating around in the one little bowls, and then, you know, you got your 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids that are, you know, hitting another bowl, and it's just all the way through the park at all ages now, you know, from you know, 7 years old to 65 years old, you know.
Right, and now the people who are like our generation have kids.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
right.
now they're taking them to the park.
Yeah.
And that's awesome when you see, you know, like JoJo and Denny.
Yeah.
Like you have a dad, and the Lehrmans, like Patrick Lehrman and Ushna and Orion Lehrman,
Yeah.
they're skating with their dad. You know, and
pretty cool dads. Pretty cool
on
dads.
any day, anyone can win, you know?
Yeah, I know. No, it's beautiful. I love to see that too. And, you know, when I was out there, I saw a dad doing, a dad like coaching their kids. Like, oh no, try this, do this, you know, you got to push one more time, you know. And I was just like watching him, and I was
Was he on a board?
You know, no, he wasn't. No, because his kids were. So it would have been impossible, because he had his daughter actually skating a curb at the park, and then the boy was riding, you know, this little whatever box that was there and stuff, you know, and he was all in up and all in off, and, you know, it was cool to see it, you know. A dad could, you know, if you're going to coach somebody, you can't really be skating with them like that level, you know. It was he had to like help, and he was helping his daughter, like holding her too, and like, okay, this is what it's like to slide through, you know, and he would pull her across.
I guess I just meant to say, like, was he a skater?
Oh yeah.
Or was he a soccer dad?
No. He was definitely a skater that was just like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was really stoked on it. So anyway, I just gave him a thumbs up, and I put a couple stickers out on the Skateboard Nation stickers, a couple of cars out in the parking lot, you know. So, you know, just doing stupid things as I usually do. But anyway, yeah, exactly. You know, there's nothing better than that to do it. So anyway, well, let me ask you, is there anything else that you want to talk about that I've missed? I know there's something that I've missed.
There probably is, and I'll probably think of it on the way home.
Right.
Is this where I get to thank all my sponsors?
Well, no, not yet. Wait, hold on to that so you can think about it. But I do remember a story you told me about Visalia skate camp.
Oh, yeah. 1989, I was the waterfront director at Visalia YMCA skate camp.
What does a waterfront director do?
Well, I was a lifeguard.
Oh, a lifeguard.
I sat on,
okay.
Well, so I would skate before breakfast.
Okay.
And I would skate after dinner. And in the middle of the day, I would sit on the dock and hang out and swim and put people in boats. Make sure they didn't drown. Or drown each other.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I spent 7 weeks there, because, you know, we went early to help build the ramps.
Okay.
That was the first.
So you helped build the vert ramp and stuff? Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, I helped build the vert ramp. There was a vert ramp. There was like this almost vert ramp. There was a mini ramp. And there was a street area.
Right.
It was the first year of the street area. And then there was the bowl.
Okay.
And Tim Payne built the bowl.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It was off limits.
Really?
Well, only for building.
Okay.
Got it. It came out really nice.
Yeah. Well, he's always, you know.
Yeah.
When somebody wants something done right, they call Tim.
He did a really good job.
So,
That was a Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I remember that was the time when, like, H Street, like, we had no money.
Right.
We had no money, so that's how we got our guys to go somewhere, was to teach skate camp.
Oh.
Like, so all the H Street riders were sent there. They would stay there with the campers. And then Mike Ternassi would just sit and film everybody. And that's how we did our whole video. Basically, 90% of the video was footage from skate camp.
Great, yeah.
But we had
And I
no
remember
money to
they
do
were there.
anything.
Danny
So-
Way came there. He was
Right.
about 14, and I had
Yeah.
never seen him before. He's zooming around the bowl like
Yeah.
faster than anybody. It goes about 6 feet out. The bowl's only like 5 feet.
Yeah.
It was like 6 feet out and lands upside down on his ribs,
Oh.
on the coping, and then like slides down into the bowl. And I've never seen anybody fall that hard.
Oh.
And then he was skating again within like the next few minutes.
Well, think about,
I bet you he wishes he had that recovery power now.
Yeah, I know, right? We all do.
We all
Yeah,
do.
we all do.
Yeah.
He does his best with what he's got.
Yeah.
He's an amazing skater.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, Danny's Danny. I mean,
Yeah.
when I saw him ragdoll on the mega ramp, and he landed, like you said, on the top and then bounced off.
I saw that video.
Oh, that was painful. I hate watching that stuff, man. And especially if you know somebody. Like,
But we still do.
I know. I try and, if I see it coming, I shut it off. Like, I don't want to watch that. But, but I got to see it. So, anyway, yeah, what a career. You've been incredible.
Thanks.
16 years of being number one is over the top. I can't think of anybody other than maybe Tony Hawk and even though,
He's got a lot of talent.
yeah, Bucky's got a lot, but I don't know if he's got 16. I'm going to have to ask him.
Henry, I think, has 7, maybe 8.
Hester? Yeah.
McLaren has 8.
Okay. See?
Kelly Slater has,
Oh,
I think, 11.
yeah, I think he's getting there, but that's a whole different realm.
And
You know,
he did the last
he's
one
at 50. At 50.
years old.
Yeah,
So
50.
maybe he's more than 11 now.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
still got more
Well,
than he does.
that's it, man. I don't know.
Maybe he'll invite me to skate his wave ranch.
Surf his wave ranch.
Yeah.
Save
Yeah.
yourself-
Surf his
Yeah.
wave ranch.
Yeah.
Save yourself $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 10 grand to go there. No big deal. And you get half hour. Or is that an hour? Oh, is it per day? I thought it was like, okay. I thought it was like, I remember my brother went and he said he spent like $150 an hour to go to one that he surfed at. So anyway, yeah. But anyway, I just, I'm at awe, basically, just knowing what you've accomplished in skateboarding, what you've done for women, someone that they can look up to and say, I want to beat her record, because that's what it's all about, right? Is trying to beat the
Yeah.
person ahead of you's records
should.
and do it, and it might not be 16 world championships, but it might be 21.5 on a 100 cone race, right? So, I mean, it could happen.
Sure. I mean, I'm
So-
human.
Yeah,
So
but I mean,
they can-
still.
There's progression. And
But I mean, it would be awesome. What would be awesome about it is if you actually found that girl, coached her through it, and then she beats your record. Like, that to me would be the ultimately cool thing, but
it could happen.
it could happen.
I know a couple of young up and comers.
Yeah. So,
And
and they
I
got
do work
focus
with
and
them.
stuff. And I really love your idea too about getting this thing in the Olympics. I would love to see slalom in the Olympics. That would just so help grow the sport as well. Selling skateboards is what it's all about. I don't care what you do as far as street. I want to see every type of skateboarding come back. I love to see people catamaraning down a hill. It makes me laugh. And it takes me back to when, I was 14 years old, 13 years old, catamaraning down Buena Vista, or just whatever. I just love to see it. And for me, man, skateboarding is skateboarding. I don't care what you do, as long as you're riding and standing on a skateboard. That's all that's important to me. I want to see freestyle make a comeback too. True.
It is.
Freestyle is growing. It is,
Yeah,
man. We're
there
seeing
is
that.
freestyle. Skate Kings makes freestyle
Yes.
decks.
Okay.
And there is some freestyle.
Oh, there's some big events on the East Coast. We've been tracking it, 60, 70, 80 competitors are showing
Wow.
up.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And they're growing that thing. Amazing. So hopefully that would be another thing that could be, I mean, it's still judging, but it's the tricks are, something they can judge, without being the cool guy thing. I just, I've seen so many contests where I'm like, oh, such and such won. I think that's awesome for him. And then the person with the reputation that they wanted to see won it. You're like, he fell twice, but whatever,
Oh,
like,
you can't fall and win.
you can't fall and win,
No.
but it's happened
it's
a million
there.
times,
And there's that
So,
freestyle, but
yeah.
if you do it on a longboard,
yeah,
it's dancing.
that's right. That
and,
is.
And that's something else.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that what
another
Kim
thing.
Capiz did all those many years ago?
Kim?
Yeah, Kim did she had a lot of dance background.
Did she? Yeah,
She did a lot of board
She did a lot
dancing,
of board
like you talked
dancing.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so there's slalom, bank slalom, park
Yep.
slalom,
Yeah.
downhill, just straight up downhill.
90 miles an hour?
Long
Are you ready for that?
distance,
Oh, yeah,
90.
push.
I've been 80 on a luge.
Really?
Yes.
See, I never knew that. 80 in a luge.
Yeah, with Lee Dancy.
Lovely.
I have witnesses.
Wow.
We were on. This is a good story.
Okay, hit me.
All right, we were on Mount Rainier
Okay.
in 1990,
We're in Washington?
Washington.
Okay.
Mount Rainier, Washington. With Lee Dancy, Curtis Head, Ken Kinney, and someone named Jim,
Okay.
who I don't know. And so we drove up to the top. We had a van full of luges and full of people. And we went up to Mount Rainier. I go down. I'm just cruising. It's long. It's straight. It's like 5 miles long, straight. One switchback. And then we go around the switch. We get to the switchback. We go around. We're cruising around, passing cars, and the Ranger goes up the hill. And I'm with Lee. Lee's behind me. Jim's behind him. And he goes, he comes up, he pulls up, and he's like, the Ranger. And I'm like, wait, what do we do? He's like, keep going, keep going. So we keep going. We're passing cars. We get down to the bottom, and it's a phenomenon. We get down to the bottom. Our van pulls in. They had already got Jim. And there's a phenomenon that happens in luge. When you go too fast, your bearings heat up so much that the urethane can't handle it. And your wheels melt. And so you end up with this like
Blob.
plastic encased bearing blob.
Wow.
And so we got down there, we tear off our leathers, we throw our luges in the van, and the sheriff comes down with our friend. And our friend's luge that he kept. The sheriff kept.
Of course.
The sheriff kept.
Yeah, you have to keep that.
So he's like, where's the other two? And we go, they're in the other van. And he's like, where's the other two?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, what'd they look like? And he goes, one of them had a long luge,
Yeah.
real long one. And he looks in there, and I go, well, that one's mine, but it doesn't have any wheels on it. And he's like, oh, it leaves.
Wow.
You got out of it because your wheels melted?
Well, come on, tell me the story. They sit there and say they had you on radar at 90, 80 miles an hour? Or?
Well, they follow us in the van, and the van has a speedometer.
Oh, I got
The
you.
van was
Okay.
doing 80.
Okay.
So that was the
Wow.
fastest I've ever been on it, standing up or laying down.
Okay. So before you did that, how many times did you ever luge before?
A bunch.
Oh, you did?
I was
Okay.
on Max Racing team
Okay.
for like about a year.
Okay, so I didn't know. Okay. It's like, it doesn't sound like a first time trip. Like, yeah, we just got to Mount Rainier and went 80 miles an hour.
No, we used to ride coal grade.
Do you still have that? Do you still have those
I
wheels? That luge board?
I cannot
That
find.
would be
I know I have
history
those
right
wheels.
there. Yeah?
I know I have those wheels.
Okay.
But I don't know where they are.
Wow.
My luge is
Do you
hanging
remember-
up in the garage.
Do you remember what kind of wheels they were?
The Kryptonics.
They were Cryptos.
Yeah, orange Cryptos.
Oh my gosh, man.
Wow, you melted orange cryptos?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could see
All the
that
time.
happening.
You'd know when you did it too, because your leg would start getting warm.
Wow. Especially at Mount Rainier, because, it's generally not super hot up there,
Right. Super hot.
It's not really hot
The
up there.
back of your leg gets warm.
Yeah.
It happened kind of a lot. But this
How
one was
often-
extreme.
how-
This was both of them.
Okay, so how many years ago was this? This was
1990.
in 90, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, 32 years
We
ago.
raced GMR. That was the
Okay.
only race I was in on GMR.
Okay.
I won the amateur division.
Wow.
That's where I met Don Bostic
Okay.
at that time. And also Alex Schroeder, Ben's brother.
Okay.
We used to ride with him.
Who else rode for GMR? I always see the logo.
No, GMR is a street.
Oh, but
Glendora Mountain Road.
no, there's like, isn't there like I remember seeing like Olson, I think, always had something that was initials.
Maybe. GMN?
Oh, maybe. No, it wasn't
That's
GMN.
bearings.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I always see those guys have a three.
Someone might have coined it.
Yeah, somebody I think did, because I remember seeing that logo somewhere.
Tell them
So-
in the comments below if they know.
Yeah. Put it in the comments below if you remember what I'm talking about, because I have no idea. Oh, yeah. I just remember seeing. I remember seeing like on people's jackets and stuff. It was like letters like that. But okay, all right. So I guess this is the time then we get to thank our sponsors and
Okay.
do fun stuff like that.
Well, okay. So definitely want to thank Skate Kings and Lacosta Racing team for always backing me. And I'm also really thankful to Oust Bearings and to Don't Trip Trucks and Radical Trucks, even though they just send me parts to keep mine alive. And Retro bushings and Turbo Nation wheels. And then also the people in the past been really supportive, like Debbie Gordon
Yeah,
of GNS Fiberflex was super supportive.
Debbie is awesome.
Yeah, love Debbie. And Peggy Turner and Dave of Skaterbuilt.
David Skaterbuilt.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is Dave's last name?
Skaterbuilt. The
Hegstrom.
Hegstrom.
Dave Hegstrom was the first person at the race. I walked up the hill, kind of shy and didn't know anybody. And he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And it had like no weight to it. Like it was genuine.
Yeah.
You know.
Good. Yeah, he's like that.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And so he was my first slalom race buddy that I met at a race that wasn't a Lacosta blade.
Okay, very cool.
Great friend.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of my first board sponsors. I also rode for Pocket Postals.
Okay,
Thanks
really?
to Chicken. Yeah.
Oh, Chicken too.
Thanks,
Okay.
Chicken. Yeah. I just saw Chicken, and his kid's great.
I just saw him about a week and a half ago at the Toxic event.
With his pink,
And I hadn't seen him.
hair?
No, he was right.
His hair was colored.
He had colored hair when I saw him.
Okay, I don't remember him having
Pretty
it.
normal.
I hadn't seen Chicken in 30 something years since the old World Industries days when he was doing all the world boards.
Oh.
And that was like the last time, I mean, Chicken's name always comes up and stuff, and then I finally saw him and he was all, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, and it took me a minute to even recognize him. I'm like, "Oh, hey." So it had been quite some time. So anyway, but he's done a lot for skateboarding.
Yeah.
For no question about it. So, you know what? We've got a lot of really, really amazing people in this industry. It's just kind of the bad people kind of get pushed out, and but we've got way more good ones. So anyway, okay. So who else? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Everybody.
Car sponsors.
Car sponsors.
Hey, come on, car sponsors.
No car sponsors.
Oh,
I'm
come on.
probably forgetting a bunch.
Yeah.
Dan Gesmer has sponsored me in the past for Seismic.
Okay.
He was on Seismic and 3DM
Seismic.
wheels.
Okay.
And Peggy Turner was always really supportive.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I go see her not enough.
Not enough.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Peggy.
Yeah.
Just for being you. Yeah. And also all the Lacosta boys, again, like Sherm and Tiger and Henry, just for like pushing me.
Yeah.
And pushing me and making fun of me and making me do it again.
Well, hey, making you believe in yourself. That's basically it. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you.
Sure.
Because you've done so much. It's just amazing, truly. And I hope any girls that are watching this will also want to follow in your footsteps and eventually say, "I want to kick her butt," because that just means there's a lot more people that are going to get involved in
Definitely.
You know?
It becomes more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, okay. Well, everybody, thank you again for watching.
Thanks for having
Everybody,
me on.
yeah, absolutely, man. Like there's other people too, like Judy. I would love to get Judy down here and get her in here and talked about her history of skateboarding. She's been in it forever, and she's still in it. She's still pushing. I know she's still right on your heel step. You know, like I know her
I love
goals.
racing,
Like
Judy. I
I'm
got to
gonna,
race her again at
yeah.
Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but it's just the fact that, you know, she's done so much too. You know, I just see the girls thing coming up, and I see all the women that started from back in the day, that have kind of carried a fizzled torch, you might say. You know what I mean? Like waiting for more women to get into it,
Right.
and now it's starting to explode. You know, I mean,
I hear what you're saying.
you know what I mean? And you know, I mean, as guys, I mean, I always loved to see like when Cara Beth would skate, you know, and you know, I was always bummed to see like people giving her a hard time, you know, not giving her the respect that she deserved back when she was 16. You know what I mean? Because she was by far, she was way ahead.
She was so
way
far
ahead of everybody. You know, she was the first girl I saw do hand plants before even Patty Hoffman was doing stuff, and you know, my best goes to Patty always too. But you know, like, you know, Cara Beth really she was
Just
by far
incredible,
and she was super quiet and humble about it all, and she did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'd try to keep up with her and break things.
Yeah. Well, you know, you also found your niche, and you've done what you've done. So anyway, thank you so much for coming in here.
I want to thank my husband.
Oh, yeah.
Because this was all his idea.
Good. You know, I mean, you're going to be in the history books. You know, there's no question about it. Your name will be infamous in skateboarding forever. You know, same with Judy, and you know, there's just so many that really deserve it. So anyway,
thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It was awesome. Anyway, what's that?
Thank you.
I think to you two people again, want to say, hey, oh, and by the way, if you guys are crazy enough to be watching it, share it. You know, don't be afraid to share it with all your friends. Get everybody to check us out and see what's going on. Right now, we're basically just on YouTube, but here pretty quick, we're looking into jumping on to Spotify and really jumping up our numbers. So anyway, then everyone can hear it. And again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks
Good
for having
times.
me.